golf net, golf net, golf net, golf net. Golf net is so awesome, I made it all myself. You can play golf in your living room. The golf net stops the golf ball, it's the golf net. Golf net. Hi, I'm Brian Bunch, and I put together my own golf net that I can use for practicing indoors or outdoors, and it worked out pretty well, so I figured I'd put the video on in case anybody else wants to see how I did it. I was going to buy a manufactured golf net or a golf cage, but they're pretty expensive. They're anywhere from $300 to $600. I didn't want to spend that much, so I put this one together for a fraction of the cost. And this net turned out pretty good. My net is 7 feet tall and 8 feet wide, which is plenty big. I can hit everything from driver to my 64-degree wedge. Mine is easy to disassemble, easy to assemble. I can bring it indoors or outdoors. So right now I've got it in my living room. When it's nice outside, I bring it outside. It takes a couple minutes to take apart and put together. And you could also take it apart and fold it up and throw it in the closet if you want. For the frame, which is pretty crucial, there's a couple different options. I went with PVC pipe, and it worked out really well because the PVC pipe is strong, it's sturdy, it's light, it's easy to cut and drill, and it's very cheap. So I bought a total of 4 10-foot long pieces of this PVC. The external diameter is 1 5/8 inches. I think anything smaller than that might be a little flimsy, but this worked out fine. So once I got my pieces of PVC, I cut up the sections that I need. I just used my miter saw to cut it. You could also use a hacksaw. The stuff cuts really easily. So I cut one 8-foot long piece, which is the top crossbar, which I'll show you. And then I cut 2 7-foot pieces, which are the side pieces. That's the height. And then I cut a total of 4 3-foot long pieces for the base. And the base on each side is like an upside down T, which I'll show you. And then you need a couple of connectors to connect the PVC pipe. So I used 2 elbow connectors and 2 T-shaped connectors, and then just put the whole thing together like Tinker Toys. I did not use any PVC cement because I want to be able to take it apart when I want to. And so let's take a look at the frame. So here's the frame, and the frame is real simple. This is the right side. So in that front of the right side you see the 3-foot piece of PVC. There's also one on the back side. And those are connected by this PVC T-piece. And then that connects up to the 7-foot side piece of PVC. That goes up and connects to this PVC elbow connector, and that goes to the 8-foot cross beam, and then the same thing over on the left side. So it's real simple. And all of the PVC pipe and connectors I got just at the plumbing section of the hardware store. And the grand total of all the PVC stuff was about $24. So it's pretty cheap. Okay, now that the frame is up, the next thing you need is the net. And there's a couple different options for the net depending on how much money you want to spend. I went high-end on the net because I'm going to use it a lot indoors and outdoors. And I wanted to make it look as professional as I could, so I paid about $90 for my net. It's a dedicated driving range quality golf net. I found a company called Gourock, G-O-U-R-O-C-K, which is an East Coast American company that makes all kinds of sports nets. And so mine's a nylon golf net with a diamond pattern. You can get diamond or square, I don't think it really matters. But one thing that I'd recommend if you get this kind of net is to get a net with a woven border, just so it has extra strength when you secure it to the frame. If you don't want to spend that kind of money, then you could also use an old blanket. You could use a painter's tarp or pretty much anything else. It all depends on how much money you want to spend. But I wanted to make this as durable as possible and make it look as nice as possible. So that's why I went with the high-end net. Okay, so finally you just need a way to attach the net to the frame. And I tried a couple different options, and this worked out the best. I drilled a little hole at 1-foot intervals around the entire frame,
and I think I used a 1/8 inch drill bit for the holes. And like I said, this stuff drills really easily. Space my holes 1 foot apart. Then I just used these eye hooks, which are cheap at the hardware store. Put that in. Tighten it up so it's good and secure. And then finally, I figured out the easiest way to attach the net to the eye hook. The simplest way is just using some rope. So I got some cheap rope at the hardware store. And just tied it. And that's it. So you do that process around the frame at 1 foot intervals, and don't forget to get the corners for some extra support. So that's it. We're all done. We're ready to hit golf balls. As you can see, it's a pretty easy project. The whole thing took me about 1 hour beginning to end to put together once I had the materials. And grand total cost was a little over $100 for what I did here. So I hope this was helpful to somebody, and good luck with your project.
Golf net. Golf net.